Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, ASEAN, China, Japan, and Republic of Korea leaders arrives at the venue. Please rise. Please be seated.
Di Baginda, yang mulia para pemimpin ASEAN-Plus 3, selama lebih dari 2 dekade, ASEAN-Plus 3 telah membuahkan banyak hasil dan menjadi motor pertumbuhan di kawasan. Namun, kita tidak boleh cepat berpuas diri, kita harus terus membuka dan menciptakan peluang-peluang kerjasama baru di mana pembangunan ekonomi hijau jadi salah satu prioritas ke depan. ASEAN sangat menghargai dukungan RRT, Jepang, dan Republik Korea untuk pengembangan ekosistem EV baterai dan ASEAN Indo-Pacific Forum. Ini penting bagi kemajuan dan pertumbuhan kawasan. Namun demikian, tujuan tersebut pasti akan terganggu jika perdamaian dan stabilitas di kawasan tidak mampu kita jaga. Oleh karena itu, saya mengajak kita semua untuk memiliki rasa yang sama, memiliki kesadaran yang sama, untuk bersama-sama menjaga perdamaian dan stabilitas di kawasan dengan terus menghormati hukum internasional. Demikian dari saya, dan dengan ini saya nyatakan KTT ke-26 ASEAN-Plus 3 dibuka. Selanjutnya saya mengundang Yang Mulia Yoon Suk Yeol, Presiden Republik Korea selaku Koordinator Plus 3 untuk menyampaikan pidato pembukaannya. Yang Mulia, saya persilahkan.
조코위 대통령님.
Your Excellency President Joko Widodo of Indonesia, esteemed heads of state and government, it is my great pleasure to join all of you again at this year's summit, at ASEAN-Plus 3 Summit. First and foremost, I would like to thank President Joko Widodo for the excellent arrangements and warm hospitality. This is a special year in the journey of ASEAN-Plus 3. Last year marked a successful close of the 25-year journey since the launch of APT, and this year marks the beginning of a new 5-year cooperation work plan. It, therefore, is a high time to build a new framework for future cooperation. Honorable leaders, ASEAN-Plus 3 is a more evolved partnership mechanism guided by the vision of an East Asian community. And at this juncture, we should inject fresh momentum to bring about a turning point in the ASEAN-Plus 3 if we were to realize this vision. Back in 1997, when East Asia was mired in the financial crisis, the leaders of ASEAN and the 3 countries, namely Korea, Japan, and China, agreed to join hands in solidarity and collective action to overcome this crisis. That's how APT came to its being. Today, the world is faced with a poly-crisis entangled by geopolitical rivalries, climate crisis, and much more.
overcoming these challenges and contributing to ASEAN's development on its path to becoming the epicentrum of growth requires a renewed sense of determination. In particular, we must facilitate cooperation among South Korea, Japan, and China, which form the foundation for the development in ASEAN. As the chair of the 9th ROK Japan-China Summit, and as the country coordinator representing the three nations within ASEAN+3, the Republic of Korea is committed to playing an active role in these efforts. We plan to engage in close communication with Tokyo and Beijing to expedite the resumption of trilateral mechanisms, including the South Korea-Japan-China Summit in the near future. Just as the improvement in South Korea-Japan relations has opened new doors for cooperation among South Korea, the U.S., and Japan, bolstered cooperation between South Korea, Japan, and China can serve as a platform that opens up a new chapter in ASEAN+3 cooperation. If ASEAN+3 comes together in unity, it has the potential to contribute not only to ASEAN's development, but also to the freedom, peace, and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific region and the wider world. I hope that today's gathering can take us one step closer to realizing that vision. Thank you.
Selanjutnya, saya mengundang
Next.
Yang Mulia Fumio Kishida, Perdana Menteri Jepang, untuk menyampaikan pidato pembukaannya. Yang Mulia, dipersilahkan.
Okay. Sorry.
I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to our host, President Joko Widodo, as well as the government of Indonesia. I would like to also welcome participation of Prime Minister Guzman of Timor-Leste as an observer. The international community is at a turning point for the era. The world is facing multitude and complex crisis of climate change, global health issues, as well as Russian aggression against Ukraine. As we see the structural changes happening in the international community, in order for the Indo-Pacific region to be the epicentrum of the growth, it is indispensable to maintain and strengthen free and open international order based on rule of law. ASEAN+3, starting with coping with the Asian financial crisis in 1997, we have been able to effectively respond to the global crisis of COVID-19 expanding. Japan is committed to the initiatives under the ASEAN+3. We have been actively promoting concrete cooperation in various areas, including finance, food security, as well as health. Firstly, in promoting a regional financial cooperation, Japan has been leading the discussions, including on the swift creation of the Rapid Financing Facility to further strengthen the Chiang-Mai Initiative multilateralization. And secondly, in order to secure food security, Japan has been conducting assistance through the APTAR, or ASEAN+3 Emergency Rice Reserve. And thirdly, in order to support recovery from COVID, Japan has been providing $3.3 billion of emergency financial support loans. Japan has consistently supported the ASEAN centrality as well as unity and also mainstreaming of the AOIP, ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific. Under the ASEAN-Plus 3 framework, we will further deepen our cooperation with the various countries to push forward the ASEAN initiatives.
Terima kasih Yang Mulia. Selanjutnya saya mengundang Yang Mulia Premier Li Qiang, Perdana Menteri RRT untuk menyampaikan pidato pembukaannya. Dipersilahkan.
Your Excellency President Joko Widodo, colleagues, it is a great pleasure for me to join friends old and new at the ASEAN-Plus 3 Summit. I wish to thank President Joko Widodo and the Indonesian government for the thoughtful arrangements made for this meeting. Since its inception over 2 decades ago, as a response to the Asian financial crisis, the APT cooperation framework has weathered the tests of the global financial crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic and played an important role in driving regional progress and prosperity. We Chinese often say, just as a fence needs the support of 3 stakes, even an able fellow needs the help of 3 friends. The more difficult the situation, the greater the need for solidarity and collaboration. A review of the many multilateral cooperation mechanisms in the world would show that they are all essentially about creating and expanding networks of friends. In these networks, there are both next-door neighbors and partners further afield. Then comes the question, what principles should we go by as we make friends, choose partners, and live with neighbors in these mechanisms? As President Xi Jinping noted, one can find partners in both those who share the same ideals and those who choose common ground over differences. In our engagement and interaction, a key principle is to seek common ground while resolving and resolving differences. To seek common ground, we must first acknowledge our commonalities. For APT countries and indeed all countries in Asia, there are so many things we share in common. Well, first, we share a common home. We are connected by shared mountains and rivers, bound by similar cultures and traditions. These underlying commonalities are the reason behind our time-honored history of friendly ties. In this common home, we all gain from its peace and prosperity and suffer in the event of upheavals and chaos. Well, second, we share common interests. We all played our part in creating the Asian miracle of economic growth. In the past 10 years, the combined GDP of APT countries as a share of the global economy increased from 24.7% to 27.6%. We are each other's important economic and trade partners, and our industrial and supply chains are deeply integrated. If we can continue to enhance openness and cooperation, we will surely forge an epicentrum of global growth. The third, we share common opportunities. We are each other's opportunities and can inject strong impetus into global development. The Chinese economy is now on track to realize the annual growth target of around 5%. More importantly, China is advancing high-quality development and Chinese modernization on all fronts. The Chinese economy enjoys bright prospects and will continue to generate fresh and greater opportunities for the region and the rest of the world. While we remain steadfast in seeking common grounds based on the commonalities, we shall have nothing to fear about the differences, and we'll be able to find the right way to resolve them. Disagreements and disputes may arise between countries due to misperceptions, diverging interests, or external interferences. Whatever the cause, it is vital to face the issues squarely, remove misunderstandings, and keep the differences in check. Facing up to the problems is a prerequisite for finding solutions, whereas an ostrich policy would only make things worse. The most effective way to clear up misunderstandings is to strengthen exchanges and increase mutual understanding and trust through sincere communication. To keep differences under control, what is essential now is to oppose picking sides, oppose bloc confrontation, and oppose a new Cold War, and to ensure that disagreements and disputes among countries are properly handled. Our meeting and discussion here are actually a concrete action in seeking common ground and resolving differences. We need to bear in mind the larger interest of peace and development in Asia, approach the commonalities and differences between countries in the right way, and make the foundation of APT cooperation even stronger. We should work in concert to meet various types of risks and challenges, promote development, prosperity, and stability of our region, and build an Asian community with a shared future. That concludes my opening remarks. Thank you.
Terima kasih Yang Mulia. Selanjutnya sebelum kita mulai sesi pleno yang akan dilakukan secara tertutup, dengan hormat saya mohon awak media untuk meninggalkan ruang pertemuan. Terima kasih.